Okay, let's bring in a good friend of mine, journalist and host of the Megyn Kelly Show and podcast, Megyn Kelly. Megyn, so much to talk about. Just earlier today, Fani Willis, that whole hearing, the judge brought back Fani Willis's lover's business partner, maybe his lawyer, to testify. They're really trying to find out when this relationship started. What do you know? What do you think?
Fani Willis is going down. She should not get comfortable in that DA chair, and certainly not on this case. I totally disagree with these left-wing lawyers who say both she and Nathan Wade are going to withstand this problem, because not only did they have an affair and engage in what looks very much like an alleged kickback scheme, but it seems very clear to me they lied about it under oath. It's bad even for civilians to lie, and it's really, really extra bad for an officer of the court to take the stand and get sworn in and lie. There's a word for it. In legal circles, it's perjury, and it's a felony. So the irony of this whole thing may be that the only person who actually committed a felony in connection with this whole case is Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, and not Donald Trump or Michael Roman, his co-defendant, who first stumbled onto this affair and alleged kickback scheme and brought it into the public eye. What's fascinating about it, and I think why it's captured, the attention of millions of Americans who want more, is, in my opinion, you can tell they're lying, and watching them wiggle as like the concentric circles get closer and closer to them is fascinating. Like, what's she going to do? Is she just going to keep lying? How many witnesses will there be to put the lie to their testimony that the affair did not begin until after she hired him? And the reason that's interesting is because if she hired her lover, that's bad. But it's especially bad if she is lying about it under oath. So basically, it looks bad because if you hire your lover and then pay him more than you pay the other special prosecutors, and then see the world together, Belize, Bahamas, Aruba, Napa, I'm telling you, I want to have an affair with Nathan Wade. I would love to see the world.
No, you don't.
He's going to take
me.
No,
you don't. I know you. I know Doug Brown would have something to say about that.
I'm just saying, this man, he takes you everywhere.
But is it enough? Is it enough to replace her if so I don't know that they're ever going to get that smoking gun. Although I will tell you, I just read today that Trump's legal team has some sort of forensic IT people on it that may be showing his cell phone pinging through the night at Fani Willis's apartment earlier than she said. So, yeah, go ahead.
So here's what happened. So in the beginning, I think it was already enough to disqualify her. I think having an affair with the sitting special prosecutor you hired, even post-hiring him, and paying him more than the other special prosecutors and then taking all these trips together on the taxpayer's dime is enough to get you booted. A conflict of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest are enough to get you booted. The lawyers have a higher ethical duty. Prosecutors in particular have a higher ethical duty. And she's failing. But it's so far beyond that at this point. The evidence is that the affair began long before she hired him. We now have her longtime good friend, Robin Yurty, taking the stand, testifying under oath that there was an affair as far back as 2019, that she witnessed it with her own eyes and ears, and Fani Willis told her all about it because they were friends since college. She was not discredited. They brought out the fact that she'd been terminated from the DA's office where she wound up working, and she wasn't too happy about that, so they're trying to say disgruntled. But let me tell you, there's disgruntled like, I don't like Fani, she fired me. And then there's disgruntled like, I'm going to go commit a felony to make her look bad. There's zero evidence that Robin Yurty would do that by perjuring herself. And while the state in defending Fani said, oh, tomorrow we're going to have a list of witnesses who are going to get up here and tell you that Robin Yurty, that friend, she's a liar. Not one. It didn't happen. So her testimony stands. And the only people to contradict it are Fani and Nathan. And there's more. Those cell phone records are absolutely damning.
Remember this from Fani's, I guess you call it must-see TV, because when she was on the stand, it was just fascinating to watch. But remember this line. This is important. Remember when she said this.
I want to be clear because my credibility is being evaluated here, right? We were friends. We hung out prior to November of 2021. In November of 2021, I hired him. I do not consider our relationship to have become romantic until early of 2022.
So her credibility is on the line, Megyn. How did she do?
Terribly. She did extremely poorly. I interview this guy all the time. I'm good friends with him. I love this guy. His name is Phil Houston. He literally is a human lie detector. Worked for the CIA 25 years, invented the deception detection methods used by them, by the Secret Service, by law enforcement across the United States. And even he said she was oozing signs of deception, defensiveness, attacking the question, attacking the questioner, her body language. There are all sorts of things that you can actually study that will tell you when somebody's lying, and she hit them all. And her fake indignation. You know, this woman was $4,600 in debt with a tax lien on her at the time she wants us to believe. She was definitely reimbursing Nathan Wade for all these fancy trips in cash, without any receipts, without an ATM withdrawal slip, without a deposit slip on his end, without any written record whatsoever to prove it. And when the lawyer said, you're paying him gobs of cash for Aruba trips when you got a nearly $5,000 tax lien against you, her response was, oh, now you're going to tell me how to pay my bills? I had to listen to you how to pay my bills? Defensiveness, you know, I am woman, hear me roar. All that nonsense is a distraction and a deflection to me from someone who's lying. So now what you have is unethical behavior by both of the lead prosecutors on this case, and both of them appearing to have lied about it on the witness stand here. And one final thing, two final things. The cell phone records would show 2,000 phone calls and 12,000 text messages over 11 months before the alleged affair began. Right. 35 visits, what appear to be visits by him to her phone, or at least by his cell phone to her home, including 2 overnights from midnight to 4 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., right around that time, including the text from him when he gets back to his house, which is clearly the, I got home safe, babe, I'm good. All the time, he's still married, by the way, which would explain the early morning departures from her home. But in any event, there's all of that, Eric. And on top of this, now you've got yet another witness, Terrence Bradley, who we know texted Ashley Merchant, the lawyer for one of the Code Trump defendants, saying her motion to disqualify these two based on their unethical behavior, the affair beginning years earlier than they claimed, and the kickback scheme looks good. And she said, who can I get to testify to the affair and the truth? And he said, no one would burn that bridge. He did not say, what do you mean? They're truth tellers, or I can't reveal any of this to you. It's private. He was like, you're on the right path. Go, girl, go. That's the witness that it comes down to today. These two lied. And Nathan Wade, final point, lied in his divorce proceeding as well. Sworn interrogatory answers, committed, signed under penalty of perjury, where he said, I never had an affair. He said, I never had an affair. And then he admitted on the stand that he did have an affair.
They not only just removed from the Trump case, they should be disbarred, actually, for doing what they're doing. And if they can
definitely
prove them,
need to be in trouble.
They perjured themselves, then even further.